Royal news now, and gee whiz, there's been a lot of developments in London overnight, hasn't there?
Yeah.
Prince Harry has attended a Thanksgiving service for the 10th anniversary of Invictus Games, whilst just 15 minutes drive away, King Charles, his dad, hosted a Buckingham Palace garden party, the first of the year, but they didn't cross paths.
Yeah, Daily Mirror Associate Editor Russell Myers joins us now. Good morning to you. OK, Russell, the world is running headlines. King too busy to see son. What has happened here? Because that does not look good for the King.
Well, it doesn't. Good morning to both of you. Well, it's a pretty sad, sorry state of affairs, I think, because, you know, Harry was coming over to the UK to celebrate the Invictus Games this week, and people I was speaking to very close to him, even at the weekend, were saying that he was super hopeful of seeing his father. He only got half an hour with him back in February, and he was sort of clearing his diary whenever he could to see his dad. But we understand that the King was far too busy to see him. But he was only 2 miles down the road from him when Harry was in St Paul's Cathedral today celebrating the Invictus Games. And it's all gone from bad to worse for poor Harry. I think that there's pretty much a lot of sympathy for him because, you know, perhaps bygones should be bygones. But, you know, the King has made a decision and he stood by it.
Russell, he was very emotional, wasn't he, at that service today? And obviously Invictus is very close to his heart, but some of that emotion coming through, I'm guessing being back at home and being ousted by the family would have something to do with it?
Well, I think you're right, because, you know, he looked very, very emotional. He was making a speech there at St Paul's himself, but there was a lady called Michelle Turner, who was the Team GB captain in 2018, and she was discussing about how, you know, the Invictus Games saved her life, and Harry looked really emotional, wiping tears away when she was making that speech. And I think it's a big pressure on him because whenever he's back in the UK, people are wondering if he's going to see his father, whether he's going to see Prince William. Of course, the Princess of Wales is undergoing cancer treatment as well. And they used to be very, very close indeed. But he hasn't seen any of them. So I think there's some things have gone on over the last few days, perhaps that Harry had reached out to his father. And, you know, it's pretty bruising that the King didn't make any time to see him.
It is. But on the flip side, he has dumped on that family time and time again, and we only know what's been reported. Who knows what's happened behind the scenes? So, can you kind of understand it? Well,
listen, I think there's a lot of nervousness in the camp whenever Harry is in town. And certainly whenever he's spoken to the family, they feel that it's been used against them. I mean, not only just in his book, you know, nobody was spared, excuse the pun, from sort of the barbs that were coming from that book. But when he's ever spoken to them or he's been in the UK, he's ended up doing an interview on American television and sort of spilling his guts and all about the family laundry has been aired. And I think the family are pretty sick and tired of it. Of course, the King is undergoing his cancer treatment as well. He's got back to duties. He has had a lot on his plate this week. And I suppose he just thought that, you know, a meeting with Harry would have got all over the headlines as well. And he just could have done without it. So who knows when we're going to see Harry on these shores again. I don't think it will be anytime soon, and that obviously opens up the question of when he's going to see his family again.
And that stuff about the King being too busy has only come from Harry's side. It hasn't come from the palace yet, so we don't actually know. And I'm not saying we don't take the Prince at face value, but you've got to question some things, right? Russell, thank you.
I am.
Not at the moment. Yeah.
Thank you, Russell.